Okay, so this is day 3 of journaling every day until I become profitable, I guess. Um, this is my technical analysis. It's 9 a.m. New York time. We're still holding that SMT. Came up, I said yesterday we were going to come up to either this volume imbalance here or up to this order block. We've tapped into it. We haven't inversed the volume imbalance again, so it's kind of a tricky bias. There's nothing really on the daily to give us any clear signs on what we want to do. We could come down from this. So I'm just going to check the 4 hour now. What do I notice? I notice we're putting in clear signs of bullish order flow. We're respecting bullish PD arrays. We're disrespecting bearish ones. Putting in an order block here. Could potentially put in a 4 hour order block here. We have, I believe, inversed this top 4 hour, which is more bullish. So I think I am bullish up until at least this point anyway on the 4 hour. We do have this high here as well, but it's quite close. If you notice as well, we have a 4 hour SMT at the minute. So we manipulated lower on ES into the large bullish fair value gap. We couldn't do it on NQ. This is showing that if we want to go up, we should be going up now. There shouldn't be any more manipulation down in theory. On the 1 hour, we have consolidation here. Again, on the 1 hour, we actually swept the consolidation with all these lows here. Got swept, and we're showing a bullish sign from that. So if we want to come up, we'd probably come up now, because that would be the manipulation on ES. Then we'd follow it by distribution on both assets. Maybe at market open we might see another Judas down into this fair value gap if it's not filled enough. I don't think we'll go lower. This is a protected low here, but you never know. Yeah, so on the 15-minute, we have that obvious sweep. We swept all these lows, delivering from the 4 hour fair value gap, and we are reshaping bullish. Yeah, overall, I'm not sure if this sweep here on ES gives me enough conviction to think that we're just going to keep pumping even at open. But it is a possibility that we do that. We have these large fair value gaps here that we could respect. So if we close through them, I expect us to keep going higher, and we'll just distribute to these 4 hours above that are unmitigated. So yeah, that's my analysis. I'm not sure if we'll get any bit of a retracement. If we're going to get a retracement, I think it will be either like into this 15-minute that's going to form in a couple of minutes, or we're just going to go all the way down and resweep all the consolidation and go up. Okay, so this is market open, and basically what happens is we fail to inverse the 15-minute that I was talking about, and since we fail to inverse it, push above it, that led me to believe that we will not pump at open. So that's pretty much what happens on NQ. We start to retrace down. Now, the 2 points I was interested in us retracing to were the 15 minutes below us and the external lows, because we have a lot of relative equal lows there, but we have an SMT with ES at that point. And if you notice, at the start of market open, we're very uncorrelated too. ES is pumping up, NQ is dumping, so this is just a no trade area. There's nothing to take here, right? Even if you were to take this inverse, if you took this inverse to the downside, you would have been stopped out. And what happens at market open is basically what I said was going to happen, besides the uncorrelation, obviously. And for whatever reason, I decide that I want to short a trade. Guess in the moment I just thought we were going to go lower because we did inverse the 15-minute on ES at this point, and we didn't take the external lows of anything on NQ. So I think I was safe until the externals, I thought, which was true and did happen. But the aggression that followed really threw me off. I guess internally a little part of me might have changed my bias a bit when I seen that we were both dumping on both assets. And then we got that aggression upwards, and that's when I should have really flipped back to my initial technical analysis and thinking, where I said we were going to do that Judas at open and then come up for those highs, the 4-hour highs, and we had a 4-hour fair value gap above 2. And it's at this point right here where I realized that we flipped to bullish. That strong candle on the 1 minute where we put in that huge CISD to the upside, that's when I realized, okay, we flipped. And I just freeze. I just hesitate, and yeah, it plays out. It just goes all the way up to the top, and I can't do anything about it. There's no entry for me in many places anyway. If I was experienced, probably could have entered just straight off the CISD, but that's not my entry. I use IFVGs only. There was a 5 minute. The risk to reward was cooked on that trade, so I'm not beating myself up too much about the 5 minute. That was like a basically negative R. There was a 1 minute higher up in the range, and the reason I didn't take that was so close to 10 a.m. And if you know anything about 10 a.m., 10 a.m. is a time where you can manipulate. So if you anticipate the 10 a.m. candle to be bullish, which in this case I did, because I thought we were going to go up, then you'd anticipate the start of 10 a.m. to manipulate down, stopping you out. So we did have that 1 minute inverse in the mid to high range. That was a bit too high for my liking anyway, but besides that, 10 a.m. was coming up, so I was expecting a little Judas down, knock me out, and then continue on its way, but I don't think that happened either. But yeah, so this move I just froze up. My technical analysis was good today, but my actions weren't. Anyway, we live and learn. 10 a.m. can manipulate, like, it's a new candle, so if it was a bullish candle it could manipulate lower and then continue higher. So if I were to enter and then 10 a.m. opened and it just manipulated deep, I'd be kind of fucked. When I seen this candle, I knew we were going to reverse up. When I seen this candle right here, that, I got stopped out here, but when I seen this candle, we put in that CISD, I knew we were going to come up. Hey, look at that. The 15 minute is closed above now. Let's see if we tap off this breaker and we come up. So right now I'm experiencing every negative emotion underneath the sun. The fear of missing out, all of these like psychological problems you get in trading, they're creeping up on me. But I tank it. I take it on the chin and I say I don't give a fuck. And I move on from it. And that's one step closer for me. So I take that as a huge win. A huge win. Not only that, but like, okay, so what? The price moved in the direction I wanted it to. Is that not what's meant to happen? Is that not a win in itself? Anyway, I'm proud of myself there from that aspect. So I had an L on hesitation, but I had a big W on, again, just making the right call. And again, with patience. And again, for not jumping into nonsense after I missed my move. And again, for keeping my account alive. All of these things, they stack up. And this is one step closer becoming a profitable trader in my eyes. This is probably not a bad short either, but the reason I'm not going to take it is because look at it. Yes, it's way deeper. And that's tough to watch. Here's the last trade of the session. It's a little bit of a choppy situation, but as you can see on the far left, we displaced down. We have delivery there that's brought us back up, and then we've took another hit down, and that hit down has inversed a fair value gap to the left, but it's a failed short. It's a failed short because on ES we're actually still respecting a 1 minute gap. So I took those two things into account. I took that we failed a short on NQ, and on ES we respected a big 1 minute. I also waited. There was an inverse on NQ. I didn't take it off the inverse. We came down, we put in the order block, and we rebalanced on both assets. And at that point, I got in. Targeted the internal highs on NQ as my break even, which we were really close to. So I knew that this was going to be most likely a break-even trade unless we just pumped. We did have a little bit of a pump. I think I got 16 points on this trade at one stage, which was really nice for how tight it was. But the SMT brought us back down, and it was break-even in the end. I was targeting the 4-hour unmitigated above, but alas, we couldn't get it. And that is the end of the trading session. I knew that was going to be break even. We had a fair value gap at our where our stop loss was. So yeah, now we're just accumulating, so I'm going to get off. Yeah, so all in all, a break even day. Nothing really of particular interest. Two pretty just solid break even trades, and of course we did miss our potential longs. I'm a bit gutted about that, but you know, at the same time, not losing money is better than losing money. So I'll take a break even over chasing stuff that doesn't exist, you know. And a particularly good win for psychology today, I do believe. You know, missed win aside, I'd pat myself on the back for the third time in this video saying I'm happy with how I handled things today. You know, I went the full 12 rounds with FOMO, I think, and especially even on that short later on in the session that I could have chased. But yeah, on to tomorrow, I guess.